హాయ్ హలో దిస్ ఇస్ చక్రి. ఈ భూమి మీద మిగిలి ఉన్న మ్యాజిక్ ఏదైనా ఉంది అంటే అది మ్యూజిక్ మాత్రమే. ఈ మాట అంటున్నది నేను కాదు, గొప్ప మ్యూజిక్ డైరెక్టర్ ఏఆర్ రెహమాన్ గారు. ఎస్, నిజంగా ఆయన మ్యూజిక్ మ్యాజిక్ లాగే పనిచేస్తుంది. ఇప్పటి వరకు మనకు ఒక గొప్ప మ్యూజిషియన్గా తెలిసినటువంటి ఏఆర్ రెహమాన్ గారు ఒక స్క్రిప్ట్ రైటర్గా, ఒక ప్రొడ్యూసర్గా రాబోతూ ఉన్నారు తన 99 సాంగ్స్ అనే మూవీతో. ఏప్రిల్ 16th ఈ మూవీ రిలీజ్ కాబోతోంది. ఏఆర్ రెహమాన్ గారు ఏంటి, స్క్రిప్ట్ ఏంటి, ప్రొడక్షన్ ఏంటి అనుకుంటున్నారా? ఆ విషయాలు ఏంటో ఆయన్ని అడిగి తెలుసుకుందాం. లెట్స్ వెల్కమ్ ది లెజెండరీ ఏఆర్ రెహమాన్ గారు అండ్ ఈ మూవీలో హీరోగా యాక్ట్ చేసిన ఎహాన్. హాయ్ రెహమాన్ సార్. హాయ్ ఎహాన్.
హాయ్
రెహమాన్ గారు, నేను అంటే మీ చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి మీకు ఫ్యాన్ని అండ్ దిస్ 99 సాంగ్స్ ఈజ్ నెక్స్ట్ లెవెల్. ట్రైలర్ చూసాను, ట్రైలర్ ఈజ్ మెస్మరైజింగ్ అండ్ ఐ వుడ్ లైక్ టు థ్యాంక్ యూ. మాకు ఇంత మంచి మ్యూజిక్ ఇస్తూ మెస్మరైజ్ చేస్తూ ఉన్నందుకు. ఐ కెన్ సే ఇట్ ఈస్ జస్ట్ మ్యాజిక్.
థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Let me come out of this fan movement and I'll get into 99 songs. Sir, మీరు ఒక గొప్ప మ్యూజిక్ డైరెక్టర్గా ఉన్న మీరు, why did you get into this writer thing? ఎందుకు అనిపించింది? What made you to write this script and what made you to take up this project?
After working, when it was after the post-Oscars, 1 year was very tough for me. 2010, there was a lot of things which I dodged, like they said, dodging bullets. There was an accident, and then there's one surgery in the house.
Yes.
All that happened, and so all that finished, and we damage control, everything was done. And I was traveling from LA to Chennai. And then I got this thought: I kind of used to write like one-line stories, and then the story came in like, what if a person has to write 100 songs to win a girl? And I told my friends like 3-4 ideas, and they said this idea seems to be nice. And so we went into that, and so I learned, went for script writing workshops and filmmaking workshops and all this stuff, and felt like I can go deeper if I create my own situations for music. I can challenge myself. And so this whole idea of storytelling and also learning something new, it was pretty therapeutic, like from just doing music, which is my love, learning something else and coming back to music, the whole music making process became fresh, because there are different perspectives of now I could see things which I could never see before. What directors could see, what scriptwriters could see. Now I could see that because I learned this little bit of that.
Okay.
So that's how the interest came. Then we got Ideal to invest in it. Then I found the director, Vishwesh Krishnamurthy, and then we found Ihan. And he studied in Chennai for like 1 year on piano. Then he went to Hollywood to do some acting lessons, 1 month of workshops. So the whole process was very interesting. Not just this movie, but I was learning about many things. And there are many other ideas also which evolved this past 10 years.
This idea was from 2010 to 2011, right, sir? So it's been a long while, like, it's 10 years around. So what took you so long?
Correct. No, I think every idea takes long. Like many directors have had ideas for 20 years and they made the movie after 20 years, 15 years,
Correct.
12 years. And the only thing was I announced it much earlier. I started putting out images much earlier.
Yes.
So in a way, everybody was a part of the growth of me as a storyteller. So, not that the movie is so. The movie is very today, and it's a very experiential movie. It is everybody, the amazing directors in Telugu, Tamil, Hindi, they've done amazing work. But we felt like the world is changing now. People are having a click of a button, they go, they see something which is South Korean or French or Latin America.
It became global.
Hollywood. Correct. So why can't our Indian movies also, with our tradition, have that, put that bridge so that the whole world can watch an Indian story without sometimes cringing? So certain things is very good for our culture, but they don't like it. They just fast forward things. So as a movie, this is the vision, to have a different voice, so that people know that this is slightly away from everything, but in a good way. So a lot of people who saw the trailer had very kind things. Like Shankar Garu said, it looks like a Hollywood movie. The trailer and the song, I think said. He came late for the trailer. Then my mother, who was a very big critic, who was just passed away, she said, 20 minutes she saw in the cut around 2 years back, and she said, "This looks like an English film," and she was smiling at me. So, yeah. So this is evolution.
Yeah. So why did you choose Ehan? What is the speciality among thousands of auditions? Why did you choose Ehan?
Good question, because I'm a new writer. Even though I've done 160 movies as a composer and very closely connected with all the directors, storytellers, I've done two Western plays also, like Bombay Dreams and Lord of the Rings. So being part of that whole transition from music making to storytelling, and I've done music videos and all this stuff. Ihan, because the character needed some grooming and like a year and a half. Which actor would give me that? Because everybody gets such big monies when they, even for one ad, they get crores.
Yes.
And so I wanted somebody, and also wanted to give something to the industry.
Okay.
Like when I looked at Ihan, I didn't look at him for just this movie. I thought this could be an actor we are giving from our company to Hindi films or English films or any film. Like now he's pan-Indian. This movie is not just Hindi; it's Hindi, Telugu, and Tamil.
So I'll ask Ehan. Ehan, we have been seeing Rahman sir as a music director. He's mesmerizing with his music from our childhood. So how is it working with him and working under him?
It's like a dream. You feel like you're part of this beautiful dream, walking under him. He's not just a great musician; he's a great producer and a great story writer as well. I mean, he has fascinated all of us by his divine music all these years.
Yes.
And I was really curious to see how this Rahman sir writing. Wow! I mean, let's see how it is. And then when I read the screenplay and the script, I was really excited that I get to play this dream role. I think as an actor, we all have these characters we want to play sometime in life, and it is one of those characters. And I am so lucky that I got to play it in my first film. As you will see the film, it's a beautiful story of this musician who's on this verge to make it in the world. And I think it's beautifully written and it's beautifully executed by Vishwesh. And for this character, I had to go to Chennai, as I told you already. I went to Chennai, I lived there for a period of 1 year. I trained on music. And more than, it was really important for us to get introduced to this musical world. I was sent to Sir's KM Music Conservatory, where there are some great artists who are doing so good now, who are passed out from there. And being with them, they say like you become the company you keep. So every day it felt like I'm getting one step closer to my character. And Jay is a very complex character. He starts as a beginner, then there are different stages of how he interprets music. And it was so important to prep for the character and being nurtured under the guidance of Rahman sir. It is a lifetime opportunity for me. Everywhere I go, they don't say Ehan anymore. Like everywhere I go, any project I'm doing, they say, "Yeah, Rahman's actor. Yeah, Rahman's actor."
Okay.
So that's I don't know how to live up to that. I mean, it only makes me nervous and it makes me work really hard in future.
So Ihan, how different it is being an actor and being a musician. You learned music. Not every actor do that while they're portraying a musician role or something else. They don't learn, but you learned for a while the music, and you went to Hollywood and you learned the acting. So how different and how was the experience? How did that support you to your role?
As I told you, like it wouldn't have been possible without the prep time. Since it's Rahman sir's film, he's a perfectionist. Any little nuance in anything, he would just reject it. And so I had to live up to that. And more than that, I had to do justice to musicians. I'm an actor who had no experience of music, never played any instrument. I think it would have been an injustice if I would have just filmed it without any prep time. So according to Rahman sirs, we agreed to his idea of transforming an actor into a musician. Not just me, but my best friend also in the film. We are a part of this band. So both of us were sent to Chennai. We trained in music. We were introduced to this musical world, which kind of aligned and inclined our senses to a different perception about music. And when we started filming, it was not an alien territory for us. It was like, okay, we know this is my instrument, and these are the notes, and this is how the scene looks like. Otherwise, if there was no prep time and nothing, I don't think Jaya would have come easily to me playing this character.
Rahman sir, I've got a common point among all. You wanted everybody to be a musician in your team, right? You are a producer, musician, and the director Vishwas Krishnamurthy is a vocalist, and this Ehan, he learned music again. So you wanted everybody to be a musician in your team, it seems.
No, it was just so convenient all the way.
Okay.
And then also Ranjit Barot was acting, who is a revelation. You will see once you see the movie that he's also, he's a show director for us, show music director and drummer. He's one of the world's best drummers. And then there's Rahul Ram, who's from Indian Ocean. He's also playing. So there are a lot of musicians in this.
Yes.
Because the movie is also a musician's perspective of life. It's everyone has a perspective. Director has a perspective.
Yes.
Storyteller has a perspective. What if the musician is a music composer is a storyteller, and all musicians play their roles? So there is something. I think there's really something special about it. All of us coming together making this movie.
So it's your brainchild, sir. So you wrote the script and you are part of the movie each and every time. Vishwesh Krishna garni enduku director ga enchukunnaru? What is the reason behind it?
When I was searching for directors, all my friends are great directors. Imtiaz Ali is there, and down there's so many young directors that I've worked with, and because they all see me as a composer, I felt very odd going to people I know and telling them a story. They're looking at me like, you're doing this. I felt like it's a little awkward. So what I did was, if I'm new, and then there's also a new director who's very competent, who's done great ads and music documentaries, and so somebody suggested Vishwesh Krishnamurthy. So I looked at his work and I felt like he's got a very unique way of filming things and getting emotions out of the actors. So that's when I decided that going with somebody fresh and who's incredibly talented would be good, because we are having a lot of new faces, new actors, and if he doesn't get good stuff from them in the movie, you look very amateur. So I saw his thing, and he's got great performances from artists, and that's one of the reasons we put more burden on him. That some of the actors are all new first time, but we made them all shine so well, taking the best out of them. And he's also well versed. He's also a gamer, so his visual idea is also connected with how gaming. And now you can all see all PlayStation games and all look so good. And so he's also into that technology, and he's been researching all that. So he made a perfect pair. And I don't have to tell much about it. If you see the trailer, you'll understand.
Yeah, understood,
what
sir.
he's done.
I felt it. What you are saying, I could feel it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So April 16th release అవుతుంది సార్ మూవీ, అండ్ బీయింగ్ ఏ మ్యూజిక్ డైరెక్టర్ మీకు చాలా మూవీస్ రిలీజ్ అప్పుడు ఒక రకమైన ఎగ్జైట్మెంట్ ఉంటుంది. బట్ బీయింగ్ ఏ ప్రొడ్యూసర్, బీయింగ్ ఏ మేకర్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ మూవీ, హౌ డూ యూ ఫీల్ అబౌట్ ఇట్? లైక్ April 16th మల్టీలింగ్వల్ ఇండియా వైడ్ రిలీజ్ అవుతుంది. వాట్స్ యువర్ ఫీలింగ్ రైట్ నౌ?
Well, I hope this movie comes and entertains people, and they see a fresh voice in filmmaking and the vision of this movie. And this is to giving respect to all the other great filmmakers I've worked with. I love them, and with all their blessings, I think we are releasing this movie. And at the time where people need hope, at a time when people need some light. So I feel like this movie has that energy, and when you come out, you feel like you experience something, and I hope people like it and support it.
ఓకే. సో మీరు పెద్ద పెద్ద డైరెక్టర్స్, గ్రేట్ డైరెక్టర్స్తో వర్క్ చేశారు, లైక్ శంకర్ గారు, మణిరత్నం గారు, ఇట్లా ఎవరి నుంచి అయినా ఇన్స్పిరేషన్ తీసుకున్నారా ఫర్ దిస్ మూవీ?
This movie, because it's like a musical, my biggest inspiration is definitely from the other generation, Vishwanath Garu
ఎస్.
and Balchandar Garu, then Maniratnam Garu, of course, and Shankar Garu. And the way they used to picturize song, the way they put screenplay in it. And I also worked in Broadway, so all these experiences.
Ehan, how difficult it is to portray this character, and is there any particular instant or particular scene do you feel like it's very hard, I did this kind of thing?
For me, it was from the beginning. It is like a dream debut for me. So I had to work really hard. I knew that there is no turning back. You have to give it all. You have to give your blood sweat to this. So and it required a certain amount of dedication and efforts, to learn music, and that's what we did. And but we enjoyed this process thoroughly. Me and my friend, we lived in Chennai. We are real life very good friends now. And we still play to this date. We play our instruments. I play piano. Rahman has gifted me one. Whenever I have free time, I play my piano. He's still a drummer. He plays his drums. So yeah.
సో రెహమాన్ గారు దీంట్లో గౌతమ్ మీనన్ గారు తమిళ వర్షన్కి డైలాగ్స్ రాసినట్టున్నారు. ఏమైనా పర్టికులర్ రీజన్ ఉందా గౌతమ్ మీనన్ గారిని దీనికి డైలాగ్ రైటర్గా తీసుకోవడానికి?
It was originally supposed to be only in Hindi.
Okay.
Then the film company Jio suggested that because you're popular and it's your hometown of Telugu and Tamil you've been doing, it'd be nice to make this movie in 3 languages. So I felt like it should have a original, should not be like a dubbing movie, but it should be very, very, near to, probably even better than the Hindi. So we had a lot of time, of course, went into the lip sync, the meaning, and adaptation to our culture, to Tamil culture and Telugu culture. So it's oriented towards that and not just felt like on some dubbing movie. So if you look at the Telugu, it looks like a straight movie. If you look at the Tamil, it looks like a straight movie. If you look like a Hindi, it's a straight movie. I think there almost sometimes, it was more than 12, 13 times we redubbed, changed voices, till we were happy that it feels same or better, even better.
సార్ మీరు స్క్రిప్ట్ రాస్తున్నప్పుడు ఎప్పుడు అనుకోలేదా ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు డైరెక్ట్ దిస్ అని, అంటే డైరెక్ట్ చేయాలన్న ఒక థాట్ ఎప్పుడు రాలేదా?
The urge always comes to you. Okay, why should I get it? Then you realize I've been doing like 5 to 6 movies a year, and that is my bread and butter. And I love doing music. If I direct, then I am a new person, first of all, and I have to quit doing music for 2-3 years.
Okay.
And that is impossible. I can't do shows, I can't do music, I can't do background score, I can't work with Maniratnam. I said, no way. Write a story, tell the vision, download information onto the director.
Okay.
And kept meeting, and we did a previs. So
Okay.
even before shooting, we did a previs of the whole movie.
So
And then we felt like, yeah, this is the movie, let's do it.
you should be well synced with Vishwesh to be, your script should be on screen, on, to visualize your script as it is.
Yeah, I know. I think sometimes so even though the story and screenplay are 2 different things,
Yes.
sometimes both of them intermingle. So when he interpreted certain things, it was better than the story. Like particularly the interval scene and all, he just surprised me so beautifully. It made it so riveting. And some places I had to go and say that let's keep it close to the story more. So it was an interesting give and take. And sometimes when the biggest thoughts came just 2 days before the shooting.
Okay.
And we got that correctly. We had not got that, something would have been missing. So there was constant care and constant improvement happening.
So Rahman Gari, you chose Ehan and you trained him and you sent him to Hollywood and your music school. మీరు చూస్ చేసుకున్న తర్వాత ఆన్ స్క్రీన్ ఎహాన్ని చూస్తే మీకు ఏమనిపించింది? వాట్ ఈస్ యువర్ ఫైనల్ ఫీలింగ్ వెన్ యూ వాచ్ ఇన్ ఆన్ స్క్రీన్?
So initially my idea of this character was somebody who was 18, 19 or 20 maybe, and he was a big Beatles fan. He wore those round goggles.
Okay.
All that stuff happened, and so we were searching for that character. And then when I looked at Ehan, I felt like doing something with this person, I was not looking at his audition, but I was looking at his personality and how his eyes looked. I felt like I was looking at him 3-4 movies away from this. Him working with big directors, or him working in Hollywood. And I felt like this is a good, if we nurture this kind of a person and we give to the industry, it'll be something which will be so good from our movie production company. So we felt like he has that charm. And for instance, there was a little accident which happened in Ukraine, and he got hurt, and the crew were actually 50 women all went to save him. No men went.
I can
So-
see that. By looking at him, I can say that. I can believe that.
So the moment I heard that, I said yes. So not just Indian. I think that's very important for an artist. That just the personality, what is inside actually comes out.
Yes.
What the inside, what you have wisdom or you have knowledge or you have kindness, it comes through the eyes. And I think he is also the way he is portraying himself. The past 1 week I've been seeing his interviews. There's a sense of composition within him. He's composed. He doesn't. He's not a what do you call motor mouth. He doesn't say unnecessary things.
Okay.
And so that's very important. What we say, I feel like each word is actually a bullet. You know, it could be as harmful sometimes. So
Yes.
I'll be very careful what we say
Yes.
and very honest with what we not over the top things, but just right things and be honest.
సో రెహమాన్ సార్, మీరు పెద్ద పెద్ద డైరెక్టర్స్కి ప్రొడ్యూసర్స్కి మ్యూజిక్ ఇచ్చారు, గొప్ప గొప్ప మ్యూజిక్ ఇచ్చారు. బట్ కమింగ్ టు యువర్ ఓన్ మూవీ, ఓన్ స్క్రిప్ట్, హౌ డిఫరెంట్ అండ్ హౌ డిఫికల్ట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ టు కంపోజ్?
Yeah, I think when you're writing a script, you can write, for instance, there is a dialogue saying, one song can change the world, the hero says, and
Yes.
the other person says, yeah, do you have it? And this is a question I kept asking myself. And at one point, we were under so much pressure that I thought, I won't compose that song which is needed for that portion. I'll probably keep it silent. So people in the movie will listen to it, but the audience won't listen to it.
Okay.
But luckily, we got that song. And so you'll hear that song, what it is on the screen.
Yeah.
And so that is a kind of pressure. And also, if you look at the soundscape of this soundtrack, there are many. There are Indian classical. There's the Bodh Barai. There's a Shruti Sai Baba song. There is a punk rock song. There's a jazz song, and there is a lullaby. And there is a song which is a romantic song based on a very old Western tradition called fugue, where composer John Sebastian Bach used to have this fugue. So because I love fugues, I wanted to do something like that for a long time. And this was a great opportunity to do that one. And so the character arc also demanded a certain graph in the musical. Like, first the song is a very simple songwriter, then becomes more experimental, then more complex and more complex. Then finally, like how an aeroplane takes off, when you see the big houses first, then the houses become small,
Yes.
then the city becomes small, and then you only see clouds.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of analogy to even music, I think. Sometimes you just want to see everything big,
Yes.
and then the more up you're in the Zen mode, and whatever comes resonates with you.
Beautiful, sir. Beautiful.
Beautiful analogy. I'd like to
Wow.
say that.
Amazing.
Yeah. So, sir, among 14 songs, what is your favorite? Or what are your favorite? It is difficult, but still I want to know.
Every time you just thought, oh, is it coming the right mix? Or is it coming in Telugu? It's coming in Tamil. Mine, I will only know what is my favorite song probably 2-3 years back after, when everything goes well, and then I just forget this movie and come back to it. Because right now I can't judge.
I would like to hear your voice on air from among any song, among all 14 songs from 99 songs.
So there's something very interesting happened. By learning piano, our hero started singing very well.
Really?
So I'm going to so well that his voice is like Bryan Adams' voice.
Oh,
I felt like if he trains a little more, he can be a great singer. I didn't know I could have used him.
so Ehan, your
I'll-
mentor is asking you to sing a song.
All right, I'll sing Teri Nazar from 99 Songs.
Sure.
हो तेरी नजर जो दूर हुई तो होगी कयामत मेरे दिल में तेरी याद जो आए हो सैया मेरा दिल भर आए हो सैया तू जो मुझको बुलाए हो सैया 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 रे Thank you.
Oh.
Beautiful, beautiful. I can understand now why Rahman sir said those words about your singing. Please,
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Rahman sir. Thank you very much, Ehan, and I wish you all the best. మీ నుంచి ఇంకా మంచి సినిమాలు మంచి స్క్రిప్ట్స్ రావాలని అలాగే మీ మ్యూజిక్ కూడా మమ్మల్ని అలరించాలని కోరుకుంటున్నాం సార్. థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్ ఫర్ జాయినింగ్ అస్ రెహమాన్ సార్ అండ్ ఎహాన్.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.